All right. Okay, so first of all, I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited for 80 Day Obsession. I feel like I've been anticipating this since July at Summit when they announced it, and now it's finally here, and I'm pumped. But don't think that I'm not enjoying my wine this weekend before I can't have any more. Okay, so I just want to kind of let this be open forum. If you have questions or tips or concerns or whatever, let's just kind of talk about it. But I don't know if y'all have all had the chance to watch I forget what it was called. There's a couple videos of tips for 80 Day Obsession. There's a quick start tip and then a meal planning or nutrition guide tips, I think is what it's called. So just kind of quickly, I'll run through those bullet points of what she talked about. You can go back and watch it for all of her details. First of all, I'm sure everybody has already done this because I think for the most part we all did a little test, and your calculations would be the same. I'm gonna mute everybody, but if you want to talk, unmute yourself. I just hear an echo. Okay. So if you haven't done your calculations, obviously that needs to be step one so that you'll know which meal plan you need to be eating from. Then number two, the second thing she talked about was reading through the meal plan. Obviously, I'm sure everybody's probably already done that too. I would highly suggest printing it out. I haven't done that yet because our stupid printer's broken. But I think having it in front of you, I know for me, holding the piece of paper, really helps me wrap my brain around things. And there's a meal planner in there. Of course, I made one before I realized that we were going to have one. But that can be really beneficial. And then Jessica, I think it was you, posted the link to the one in Autumn's coach group. That kind of looked brilliant because you can visualize your whole week, right there in one sheet. Okay, the third thing was to use your containers, obviously, so that you keep your portions in check. The fourth thing, which I hadn't really thought about, but I get that it's totally important, scheduling your workouts. For some of us who are working out at 5:30 in the morning, our days, for the most part, are not really going to vary. If we start our workout at 5, that's what we're going to do. But maybe your work schedule doesn't allow for you to work out the same time every single day. So on the weekends, look at your schedule, think about the things that you have going on, and schedule when you're going to work out each day, because your workout block of meals will change if the time that you work out changes. So, just make sure you take the time to do that. And then the fifth thing was creating your meal plan and meal prepping. Obviously, I feel like meal prep is going to be super important for morning workout people, because I'm not going to be frying eggs at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Not doing it. So knowing what you're going to eat, making that plan ahead of time, and then prepping is super important. So the meal plan itself does not include specific recipes. However, we have access to the entire Fix8, which is Autumn's cookbook, her recipes created for the container plan. So we're going to be able to use the Fix8 recipes as we're creating our meal plans. Personally, I'm going to, at least until I get this down and into a routine, I'm just going to keep it super duper simple. I haven't even looked recently at the Fix8 recipes. I mean, I have the cookbook, but I'm sure there are tons more added to BOD versus what's in the actual book. But I really enjoyed the breakfast burritos because it was a yellow, a red, and a green all wrapped up in one. I made 5 on Sunday. I wrapped them in tinfoil and I popped them in the microwave, and that was it. That's all I had to do before I worked out. Another thing I thought you could do for pre-workout is the little egg cups, and you can find that recipe in the Fix8 section of BOD. But it would basically be your red and your green in your little cup, and you would 2 would be a serving. And then you can add like a whole wheat waffle or oatmeal to get your yellow. There was
She
also
included in those 8 pre-workout, like for us that work in the morning or work out in the morning, those they're like quinoa and then the egg and bacon and spinach. Those are really good, just like the burritos are, and they're in those like 8 pre-workouts. So that gets you all of what your pre-workout is supposed to be.
that's awesome. I forgot about the one that had quinoa in it. So then you wouldn't even have to
I took them the
prepare
last 2
something
days and
separate.
they're great. Or the last 2 weeks and they're awesome.
Do you eat 2?
It's 3. So like 3 is 1 serving, and that's
Okay.
1 whole serving of yellow, green, and red.
Okay.
So you eat the 3 muffins, and then that's it for pre-workout.
Okay. I'm going to make notes as we go of things to upload or whatever into the group so that we don't have to hunt down. But that list of 8 pre-workout.
Yeah, those are the 2 easiest I saw, and I tried those, and they're awesome.
Okay. I feel like there was another one that seemed pretty simple that was like 2 hard-boiled eggs, asparagus, and maybe like oatmeal or a waffle or something. Anyways, that was a really good document. I'll find it and repost it. Okay, and then for me, I could eat salads. Like, I just don't mind eating salads. I know that's not the case for everybody, but mason jar salads, I think, would be something really simple that you could prep over the weekend. If you want to do that, layer it, veggies at the bottom, dressings at the bottom, then your crunchy vegetables, and then lettuce at the top. And then for dinners, again, like, I'm just planning on simple. Like tonight, we grilled venison tenderloin, vegetable skewers, and had a salad. Like, I don't know. I just think for me, like, simple is what's going to help me stay on track. And then, like, hello, I have a husband who really loves to eat and 2 boys who are pretty picky. So I'm just going to, make the bulk of our meal meat and veggies, red and green. And then I'll do like rice or macaroni and cheese or whatever for the boys so that they're not feeling deprived. But I think just like not overcomplicating it is going to be the key, and trial and error, like just being open-minded and being willing to try some different things, and just going into it with a mindset of like, this is different than anything we've done. It's going to require prep. It's going to require like being obsessed with doing the things to get ourselves ready on the weekend so that we have a successful week. And I think if we do that, everybody's going to see success. I don't anticipate that every single one of my days is going to be perfect. I think that we have to be, okay with having a bad day and then getting back up and going at it again tomorrow. But just the planning and the preparation, I think, is going to be the key to us seeing success with this program. Okay, the other things that she talked about in that video were enjoying your refeed day. I'm not going to go into that totally tonight because it doesn't even start until phase 2, but it's basically like you get different carbs. You get like white carbs on refeed days. But that doesn't happen for 6 weeks, so we'll talk about that as it comes. And then with that, being aware of like changes to the meal plan based on what day it is. For example, if you've looked at the meal plan, the rest day, like obviously you don't have a pre-workout meal on a rest day. So I think that one was like a fruit, a protein, and
Okay.
I can't have too many things open on my computer. I can't find it, but that meal obviously on a rest day is different than the rest of the week. So just being aware of the different days as you're planning and prepping. Okay, so that's kind of what I just wanted to start out with. Catherine, I know, had some things she wanted to say, and then let's just talk, answer questions, whatever we need to do.
Okay. So I think the one thing about the meal plan, I think about what we can, I think what's important to realize is the only thing that's different in terms of our nutrition this time is the fact that we're timing out. We're doing a better job of timing out when we eat and what we eat when. But in terms of making food or whatever, it's no different than what we've been doing the last 3 years or what you've been doing the last 3 months or the last month or whatever. Unless you've not been doing anything, then you need to change. But again, I know I'm going to keep it as simple as possible right now, just because things are crazy, and not try to overcomplicate it. I also don't have a lot of time to prep this weekend, so that's my plan. So that's one thing. The other thing is, so 2 things. Okay, so I have 3 things. So one thing that I realized today, Netta had a post in the FitFam group about something going on in Autumn's in the test group, and I haven't even really read any of that. And I guess that people are complaining is the only thing I could get, and I guess maybe there's some negativity about the nutrition. And can you change this? And can you make this? Go all in. Who cares? This isn't about, because she said this isn't about being perfect and about doing this right 100% of the time for the next 80 days. I mean, if there's people who do that, kudos to them, right? But I think the whole idea is go all in, just to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it the best that I can. So that means it means that you're going to get sick. Your kid's going to get sick. You're going to go on vacation. It's going to be your husband's birthday. It's going to be your birthday. It's going to be your kid's birthday. It's going to be somebody's graduation, or whatever it is that we're going to fall off in terms of nutrition. That's okay. I think, and we don't need to beat ourselves up about it. I think as long as the next meal you get back on track, or the next day, or when you get back from vacation. So I think to me, the scariest part of all of it really is, I've been getting up and working out at 5:30, and I'm trying to rack my brain and figure out how I'm going to get in a 45 to 60-minute workout in the morning before my kids get up. And if I'm going to do that, that's not a problem. It's the time nutrition before that, really, and after that, where I struggle. And I think that, to me, I think that's going to be the biggest difference. I know that I think I'm going to see, and that I see with this whole thing. Other than that, I don't think there's not much difference. You're still eating whatever your calorie bracket is. You're still eating the same amount of stuff that you were. And I'm still eating the same stuff I did when I was on 21-day fix. It's just, I'm eating it she's telling me to eat it a little bit differently here. Okay, so there's that. Then, and then my other thing is I had this a kind of epiphany today when I was working out, and it was cardio core, and I was dying because, I was feeling really good this morning waking up. No, I was working out until I realized it was cardio core, and then I'm like, oh, crap. Like, can today be my rest day? But of course, once I finished, I was glad I did. But I realized while we were doing one of the recovery things, I'm like, crap, this workout is 30 minutes. What am I going to do next Thursday when it's an hour? I mean, it just really kind of hit me. I was like, screw. So with that, it also brought up, which another point Netta had made, and I don't know if she did in the group, or anyway, she was saying her calorie bracket's high, and she's like, I can't even get in all of my food that she's supposed to eat. Well, guess what? I think everybody's going to start being more hungry next week. That's my guess, because I'm thinking I can do okay with what I'm doing now, but I think if anybody's worried about what they have to eat, I don't think that we're going to be struggling, because I think we're going to be hungry. We've all said sometimes doing this that we'll have those cardio days or have another day where you're like, oh, I'm starving. I just think with that, that's when I think this community is going to be really important, to lean on each other, to be like, I'm starving and I still have to eat my dinner, but what else do I eat? Because that's, I think, when we also lose track. You're starving, so you go, grab you go make another piece of toast, or you go eat that muffin that you bought for your kids, or, we eat the stuff that maybe it's not the stuff we need to be fueling our bodies with. And I think that, to me, was just kind of a little bit of a light bulb moment that I had, that I think keeping in the back of our minds and keeping extra veggies on hand. Because you're also going to want to make sure that you eat veggies and not fruit. And I really wouldn't eat any fruit. I'd say if you had to have fruit for a snack in the afternoon, but after like 3, she doesn't want us eating fruit at all. I mean, and that later in the day. So I would say definitely not lean towards fruit for your snack if you need something extra.
I think that is a good time to mention the importance of Shakeology, because Lindsay and Catherine and I were talking this morning, and she was like, when I did 21 Day Fix the first time, what was it, like 2 years ago or a year ago, Lindsay? She was like, I thought Shakeology was crap. Like, I didn't buy it. I thought it was crap, just like we probably all did. Hello, I watched a coach and laughed at her for a year before I decided to give this a try. Thank God I did. But she was saying, like, the first time she had so many cravings, and she, all of that. This time she's consistently drinking Shakeology, and she's like, I don't crave crap. Like, I don't really crave anything. So I think, like, I've been having Shakeology as my post-workout.
Mm-hmm.
Add spinach to it to get the veggie, and then, like, I make a waffle, like a wheat waffle with it. Then I'm eating lunch again. But I can tell, like, today I didn't have my Shakeology for my post-workout meal. And at 3:00 this afternoon, I was like, I want the Cheez-Its. Give me all the Cheez-Its.
Well, and I think what makes a difference for me is I know a lot of people do their Shakeology like in the morning. So I work out at 5:30, and I'll do my pre-workout meal, and then later for my post-workout meal, I just make a regular smoothie, because we're supposed to eat our fruit in the morning.
That's a good
idea. I
idea.
make a smoothie with spinach and Greek yogurt for the protein and fruit, and then I'll do like just whole wheat toast with peanut butter. And then in the afternoon for my snack, I'll do the Shakeology with like carrots or whatever for a snack before supper. And that kind of helps me, because it's like my little indulging moment. That kind of keeps me on track, because in the morning, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I don't really crave even when I did want something, it usually wasn't in the morning.
Yeah.
So I try to get it in the afternoon in case there is something, like I have that there kind of to help. Or at least, I mean,
can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you 2 questions? One is, how many times a day do you guys, should you only be doing Shakeology once a day? Is that the recommended?
Yeah. I mean, every now and then,
Okay.
like, I'll have it in the mornings, and then we'll, like, randomly decide to have it for dinner, but not consistently.
Okay. Second of all, I read different stuff. I read one thing where you could use almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, as your carb in your Shakeology in the morning. Is that accurate or not? I've read different things, because I've read almond milk as
So in 21 Day Fix, almond milk was considered a yellow. It was like a swap for a yellow. I was looking at that actually before we started.
They changed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
They changed it that it only counted as like a teaspoon, right?
Mhm.
So now it's like a healthy fat. Okay.
Well, no, it would be
Well-
considered a teaspoon. Well, yeah,
Are
which
you sure? Well, I like in
Oh, a
that
teaspoon.
almond thing, they're changing the food list because that's one thing that the coach group was complaining about is that things were different. And I tried to print off the food list earlier today, and it was not there. They took it down and they're refixing it. They're fixing it, so you might want to check on that when it comes back on because it might have changed and went to another yellow. So you have the food list is getting fixed right now.
Okay.
Okay. so
Yeah, I
that's still
saw
up in
something
there.
about that in a coach leader thread that I'm in, but I didn't read the whole thing, so I knew there was something, but I didn't know all the details.
but I'm pretty sure it doesn't, unless they're changing it for this. It's not going to be a yellow.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I did
But
want to.
That was my question.
what's the measurement though? I mean, it can't be just a teaspoon of almond milk. What's the point?
No, but I think it's
They're
because
just counting as a teaspoon.
I think it's because
Yeah.
it's it's almond milk. It's not dairy. I mean, it's different that it's.
Right.
You're
No,
not
I get what it's counted for, but like, what do we measure it as? 8 ounces, 4 ounces,
I think it's a cup.
a
Yeah.
cup? Okay.
8 ounces, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so two other things. One, if you notice in the meal plan, like I'm doing A, if you look at it, when you read it, make sure, because like when it talks to you about drinking your Energize, there's like a little arrow thing or whatever, and there's little crosses and little stars or whatever. But if you read down, make sure you read that fine print because it says you're supposed to do a double dose of Energize.
Morgan and I were talking about that the other day, and we were wondering if there's another catch to that, and I didn't look in detail again.
But if you read Energize, you take one scoop. It's just like Hydrate. You take one scoop if you're working out for 30 minutes, and you take 2 if you're working out for an hour. Because when I've done longer workouts,
Are those 2 tubs? Because it says like 2 tubs are going to last you for the whole 80 days.
well, that's crap because there's no way. There's no way, and there's no way that Recover's not. The Recover isn't going to last either. None of it does, and they didn't even offer the recharge with the accessories.
So,
Yeah,
so what I suggested to Lindsay was, because some people bought the Mega with the plan of, I don't have to spend money on any more supplements.
Right.
So take your 1 scoop of Energize for week 1 or for 3 workouts or whatever. And if you feel at 15 minutes still to go, you are like dead, like you cannot push through, then maybe you do need to do 2 scoops or a scoop and a half.
Or maybe even those days, like, I mean, I think there's some days I don't feel like I guess I don't work as hard. I mean, leg days are a rough day, but like cardio core, I would definitely take 2 scoops on those days. But if there's a booty day or whatever that maybe isn't as intense, that, and then the other thing is because we were talking about not always wanting to eat when we wake up in the morning. It does say when you look at the meal plan and when it does your time nutrition and it says pre-workout meal, and you drink your stuff, then your post, and then you start your blocks. Your meal option 1, your meal option 1 can be swapped with your pre-workout meal. So if you don't want a red, a green, a yellow, and a teaspoon in the morning before you work out, you can swap that and move that until you're a couple of hours after your workout, and you could have a red and a purple before you work out. And didn't we say with ALO, wasn't it in there to say you could do that like 30 minutes before you were working out, right?
Yeah, I looked for that for 80 day and I didn't see that Maybe
It
I
didn't
just
say-
looked over it, but it was definitely there for a little obsessed.
Right. It is in there. It just didn't give the time frame.
Okay.
But the swap is in there. It does mention the swap in there.
I think
Okay.
it would be, though, like especially for those that work out early, I think it would be good at least to try. Like we're already making an 80-day commitment. Why not, unless you just can't, like there's some reason we can't. I think just to get the best results, it would be good for us to try to do the red, the yellow, the green for the pre-workout.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least I'm going to try.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
because
if don't do it.
I was just trying to read. I mean, I kind of agree with that. Like,
Did you guys
try it.
mention about, I'm sorry, I was looking over my notes. Did you guys mention the, on refeed days and stuff too, if you are doing that?
On refeed days, then what did you say? I didn't hear the last part. I think you might be frozen. I wish I knew exactly what she was asking about the refeed day. Amy, if you can hear us, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
What does the S's mean on this thing?
That is for the supplemental, like, so when we get to phase 2, the refeed means that, like, she wants us to replenish our glycogen stores 1 day a week. So basically we get to eat dirty carbs. So the S means that you refer to the supplemental yellow list versus just what we would normally look at for yellows.
Okay.
But that doesn't start until phase 2.
Okay. That's a lot of food on the refeed day.
Yeah. Amy, I think you're unfrozen now. Did that kind of answer what you were getting at with refeed, or did you have a different question?
Well, I kind of missed everything. I just wanted to make sure that if people are doing the swap with the Shakeology for your pre-workout or whatever, that they make sure I read that you can't do that on refeed days. You have to eat a meal. You have to do like the normal meal
I
plan.
see.
Did anybody else read that?
No, I did not.
Do what now?
Yeah, you can't swap on those days. So if you are going to do it, we have to make a note to remember that we have to change that.
Okay.
Where is
Well,
it?
but that's not until like 6 weeks from now, right? Like you said.
Right. But just something to remember so we don't mess it up,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well,
if you get in the habit of doing it a certain way, then oh crap.
Because I just got my containers today, and I just got all my stuff today.
Yay!
Yeah. So I have not been doing none of this. So this is gonna be this is a lot.
You got it. Just don't overcomplicate it. It's not that hard.
Like I said, I think the biggest thing is, and I mean, it's going to take time. Like this kind of meal planning for me is way more time consuming than what I can quickly throw things together the way we thinking about a 21-day fix type meal plan.
Mm-hmm.
But this is specific. I think we all need to set aside an hour on Saturday or Sunday, probably Saturday, so that you can use Sunday to actually prep. But to, comb through Fixate if that's what you want to do and figure out, what you're going to have each day. I don't know if everybody saw it because it was in the 80 Day Obsessed launch party group that I had. I posted a video from another coach who was in the test group, and she said, you know, that the way she saw success was like on the weekends, she literally just chopped up a bunch of vegetables, prepped a little bit of fruits, like had hummus cups. She was like, I ate like a rabbit. Like I just had stuff that I could grab every 2 to 3 hours to stay, you know, to keep everything even keeled. And like, I just didn't overcomplicate it. Like she said, we ate grilled chicken and vegetables for dinner because we don't mind eating the same thing over and over again. She doesn't have kids. Like, so, well, she has a baby, but, so that's what worked for her. But just saying, you know, chopping up a bunch of cucumbers and having baby carrots like on hand, take some of the complicated factor out of it.
Mm-hmm. Especially at first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until
And
you
then
can-
once you get into a rhythm, you know, it's
start
just like
changing it up.
when the very first time I ever did 21 Day Fix, I used my containers every single day. And then after a while, I could eyeball stuff. You know, I didn't have to get them out to measure everything. I'm going to use them again as we start this, just to get back in the groove for sure. But just saying, as we go on, you're going to get more in a rhythm.
I'm very excited.
Me too. I can't wait. Like, I'm a little nervous just because this is different and I don't want people to get frustrated or be anxious about the nutrition part. But I'm super excited. I feel like everybody is going to get incredible results. Like, the freaking transformation pictures from the test group blow my mind every single time I look at them. They're unreal. Yeah. And they're not edited. Like, they were pictures that the coaches took in their house. Like, Beachbody did not touch those pictures. They were just posted by the coaches, you know. They weren't touched up or whatever. So, yeah, it's going to be great. Does anybody else have concerns or questions or tips, things they plan to implement?
Through the like getting started part, and it doesn't show, like, it tells
How
you.
big a deal do you think it is if you can't go a total hour between eating your first meal and working out?
I don't think that's a big deal at all, because Autumn went live one day and she was like, I know my body and I know that I can eat a full pre-workout meal and go work out 20 to 30 minutes later. She's like, so I think you can trial and error and figure out if you eat and 30 minutes later you work out. If you don't feel like you're going to puke, then go for it.
What I've also noticed, like in the morning, because it's like a super early breakfast for me, is I'll eat part of my pre-workout before, and then I'll finish my pre-workout after, just so I'm not full. And that's kind of been something that, like, I'm trying to wean myself into. Well, not wean, that's not a good word. I'm trying to get myself in to get that pre-workout in. But if you just can't work out, like I've never been really able to eat or work out with something in my stomach. But I do know that with me, even just these 30 minutes, like, if I don't eat something, I am starving. So I think with 5 to an hour minute workouts, I feel like Catherine said, we're gonna be hungry. So we might, like, one of my goals is to make sure I eat my pre-workout, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour or whatever ahead of time.
That's a really good goal. I have that one too.
Everybody else is doing afternoon workouts, but I'm going to be having to do afternoon workouts because my husband and I are going to do this together. So that's going to be interesting. So I don't know if there's anybody else in the group that's going to be trying to do that. So that was kind of weird, trying to figure out how to move the pre-workout block. Like Catherine said, I think my big struggle too is, like, you know, you start getting going during your day and then you're like, oh my gosh, I have to eat. So I think staying on the track of like the time, I might like initially set like a timer on my phone.
That's a good idea.
Whenever I'm supposed to be eating, just as like a reminder. So that might be something for y'all to.
That's a really good
Yeah,
idea.
If some people have tried the Recover. I've tried the orange one. It's awesome. I've used it like way before, like doing this program. It really helps with like muscle soreness. So I know like you can use the Shakeology as a pre-workout, but I'm worried like as well with like the whole hour workout, 45 minutes to an hour. It's really gonna be interesting. I'm also gonna give the whatever the one is at night. I'm gonna give that a try, see how that goes. I haven't tried that before. We have some on hand, so we're gonna use it. But the recharge is really good, and I can tell like a difference if I use it versus not using it. So that's it. That's what I got.
That's good. I think I'm going to get some and use it especially on cardio, leg, and booty day. Maybe not every night, but Jessica, I don't mean to like put you on the spot, but if you're going to work out in the afternoon and if there are other people, would you be willing to do a Zoom? You don't have to answer right now. Think about it.
I mean, I don't really care. My husband, I'll just point on me. And there may be small children that may steal the phone.
That's okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's it's going to be like a weird time though. It'll be like around like 4. Our
Okay.
workout would be like 4 to 5. So I don't know if that's even helpful for anybody, but if it is, let me know.
Okay.
Eastern time?
Yes.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
love to get like some different times if there are people who want to do it. If not, no big deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be able to work out at 5:30 anymore. I've kind of wrote down, well, I take thyroid medicine. So I've got to take my thyroid medicine first thing when I wake up. And then I can't have anything to eat for 30 minutes to an hour after that. And so then I've got to eat. And then I've got to wait another hour and work out. So
Can you take your medicine at night?
I don't know. They always told me to take it in the morning. I guess I can see. I've always taken it in the morning. I don't.
Is it Synthroid?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll Google it and look it
I
up.
can't remember. I don't know. Look into it. Maybe that would help you.
Yeah, that would be helpful if I can.
All right. Well, ladies, I don't want to keep anybody much later if y'all, I know like kids, early mornings work, but if y'all have more, we'll stay. If not, it's going to be amazing. Everybody's going to do great. And I think like Catherine said, and like I mentioned earlier, like don't hold yourself to a standard of perfection. Just be willing to take it every single day, a day at a time. I mean, we got to plan more than a day at a time, but I'm saying wake up every day with the mindset of I'm showing up today and I'm going to do my best today. Don't worry about what happened the day before. Don't worry about tomorrow. Like focus on the day that you're in and make it the very best you can be. And do it again the next day and do it again the next day. I think it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
Me too.
All right. I'm going to announce this. I'm going to post a little flyer that I made. But so for the challenge, it's going to be super simple because some of y'all weren't here for the last one, but I like totally bombed and overcomplicated the hell out of tracking the challenge point. And we all lost track. But anyways, to participate, you have to log your measurements, pictures in the My Challenge Tracker app. I know some of y'all probably haven't even heard of that yet. Jennifer has opened it. She's going to let everybody who wants to participate just be in her Challenge Tracker app simply for us to track our measurements and our pictures because it's so handy. Like you plug in your numbers and then when you do your, like for phase 2, before we start phase 2, we'll remeasure. When you put in your second set of numbers, it does the math for you. So you don't have to check.
Real quick, I know it said in there. So are we're measuring Sunday. correct?
Mhm.
And taking pictures Sunday. Okay.
And then I've already forgot everything that I wrote up. Oh, the goal tracker that I posted has to be completed. So those are the two things that you have to do to be a part of the challenge. If you can't print out the goal tracker, fine, just write it on a sheet of paper. And then the point system will come from once a week, I'll post a thread for personal development takeaways. Post 2 personal development takeaways. That'll get you a point. Then on Sundays, I'm going to post a reflection thread. So how was your previous week? What did you do really great at? Where could you improve? What was your biggest struggle? Like, just giving you an opportunity and like kind of holding you accountable to thinking about your previous week and where you can put your focus on for the next week. So that gets you a point. And then any random like little pop-up challenges that we have, like a water tag or Woman Crush Wednesday or whatever it may be, participating in that gets you a point. So at the very end of phase 1, whoever has the most points is going to get a tank top and some leggings.
Where is that going to be?
In the Facebook group, the Fit Fam Ignited.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay, then. Thank y'all so much for hopping on. It was really great to see y'all and chat. Jessica, I love your haircut.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.